So, hey everybody, how are you guys? It looks like we have an excellent connection tonight. Thank you guys for joining me on another live session. If you're here in the chat, please say hello. Let me know how the audio sounds, how the connection looks. Yes, I am live, engaging the phenomenon. What's up, man? How are you? How does the audio sound? So there is a lag on the live view that I see, guys. There's a lag, like a 1 minute lag. So I'm just gonna have to wing it, because what I'm looking at is a minute behind or something. So today, I'm glad you guys are all here again. Like I said the last time, I'm super happy to be doing this. I feel like it's something that can really take the channel and the community here somewhere new and can help us interact and grow as a community. So thank you guys for joining me. If you are here watching this, do me a huge favor and share the link to this live on Twitter or on any social media like right now, and let's see how many people we can get in here to help grow this conversation. So today I want to talk about James Fox's film, The Phenomenon. Everyone's talked about it. Everyone has shared their opinions, and I have not. And really, I was waiting for the film to come out I just couldn't wait to see it. So I wanted to watch it maybe once or twice before I shared any of my thoughts on it. First of all, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So how many of you have seen the film? What's up, Project Unity? Hey, man. Alpha 1A, everything okay? All the way to Sweden. Awesome. What time is it in Sweden? Wow, it's great to see you guys here, man. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. So the film, I've watched it twice now. I really enjoyed it both times. I tried to analyze it as much as I could. The first time it kind of, I just sat back and enjoyed the whole film. And the most important part about this film, in my opinion, is that it's like a stepping stone for people that are learning about the phenomenon or maybe have no idea about the UFO phenomenon or the UFO subject. This film will guide them and lead them in the right direction to grow and learn more, maybe do their own research and start building their own conclusions. The timeline of the film, the way it's laid out, it's like a 70-year timeline kind of thing. And I thought that was fascinating and a great choice by James Fox to do that, to really just like take you on a journey through the phenomenon and show you, how this has been progressing, but at the same time, how many aspects of this phenomenon that we are seeing today have been happening throughout history, right? We're seeing some of the same observables, some of the same traits coming up over and over again, and it's getting harder and harder to ignore. So let me check out the chat real quick. Oh, awesome. Engaging the phenomenon. I knew you were going to see it, dude. Totally. Project Unity. Hey, bro, I've seen it, and it's a brilliant educational tool, in my opinion. I 100% agree. That's what I was just saying. 1 a.m. in Sweden. Oh, I promised to try to figure out a better time for these lives. I was going to go live on Wednesday. That might be better, guys. I don't know. You let me know. I hope you're all having a wonderful, beautiful Friday. So back to the film. So again, this is just drilling in and reminding people that the governments of the world, the U.S. government and the governments of the world, have been taking this topic serious. It's not like just now that we're seeing these New York Times articles and just now this is becoming, something talked about in the news. This has been something that has been ongoing for years. This relationship we have with this phenomenon, like it or not, has been sort of like a back and forth thing forever, in my opinion. And I feel like once we started seeing it as flying saucers. We started seeing it maybe in another light. And in the past, before flying saucers, maybe people tried to categorize or identify this phenomenon with what they knew, right? So the ancient astronaut hypothesis comes into play there. But yeah, so definitely if you want to educate someone on this topic, or you just want to sit down with your family and watch a film with people that maybe aren't into this topic, this is the perfect film to watch with them, because it's engaging. It will, captivate them, and they will get caught up in the story. For me, I watch that kind of, I sit around and just look for interviews and different kind of footage that I can find online, old footage, just stuff that helps link up and continue, pieces to the puzzle, helps us continue to see the depth that this interaction with this phenomenon has had with us, and how it continues in sort of the same patterns. So definitely. Now, has everyone here in the live chat seen this? I don't want to spoil this for anybody. Hey, Rodrigo. Good evening, Gaucho. What's up? How are you? So awesome, guys. Thank you guys again for being here. So cool. So this, I got a little tongue-tied there, but what I was trying to say is this film is very powerful, and some of the community has actually said that they didn't like the film, which I thought was strange, because in my opinion, there was nothing wrong with the film. It was a great film. I could totally see how someone from our community may think that this is sort of like recycled, or a, sort of the same type of style or platform as any other film in this field. But, it is something new. It is something fresh. There is some awesome people in this film. I felt like Chris Mellon's, the things he was saying throughout the film were just resonating with me so much. And I was like, wow, this guy is a true believer. And I know you see him on Unidentified and stuff like that, but I feel like in this film, he really just showed his true colors. And I would love to sit down and have a coffee with Chris Mellon. That would be awesome. Anyone from TTSA, actually, or any other researcher. I feel like the more we can work together and the more we can discuss this topic and share our different theories and different opinions, the better and the closer we're going to get to the truth. So some of the cases in this film are my favorite cases, right? So the Ariel School sighting is one of my favorite cases, just because the amount of witnesses and because it was in broad daylight. And not only did they see a craft, but they saw beings coming out of the craft. And the witnesses still hold up that story today. Now, I don't know how, you can hear this case and not think that there's something there, right? I made a video about the Ariel School case, and I remember somebody saying, arguing that the Phoenix Lights case was actually a better case. Now, the Phoenix Lights case is amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's a fascinating case. It's also a mass sighting. Everyone knows about the Phoenix Lights. If you don't, go search it up, do some research. You will be amazed. But the Ariel School case is just so interesting, because once I saw that case, I started doing some digging and looking into other cases where children were coming into contact with UFOs and having close encounters. And I found out, I found the Westall case after finding the Ariel case. And the Westall case is just as powerful, in my opinion, and just as amazing, and also something with very similar characteristics to the Ariel case. And that's something that we need to try to analyze and try to figure out. What is it about these craft and these occupants that, for some reason, they have no problem showing themselves to a group of school children, right? In the middle of the day. I guess we could conclude maybe that interacting with children, right, for them may be safer than interacting with a group of adults, landing on a baseball field full of a adult baseball team or something like that. You know what I mean? So let me look back at the chat here. I don't want to forget about you guys. Zachary Lancaster, what's up, man? You're awesome. So cool to see you here, Project Unity. I'm glad, man. So what is it, right? What is it about these cases that stand out to me when a craft or something comes into contact, but it's a broad day contact, right, with school children, with mass witnesses, a mass sighting? Those are so powerful. Those are very powerful, and something that we need to focus on and try to pick apart, because there are so many things and so many cases and so many aspects of this phenomenon that we can focus on. But I feel like there are these little aspects of the phenomenon that people don't really pay attention to, right? So in the film, they also bring up the Lani Zamora case. I've always been a huge fan of the Lani Zamora case. And there's actually a part in the film where he talks about, Lani Zamora's sighting, and how Lani Zamora said that the occupants had on white coveralls. And I made a whole video talking about the clothes that the occupants were wearing. And it was really kind of funny because when I posted the video, I was expecting people to, be like, wow, yeah, I wonder why they wear clothes. I wonder why these beings from another realm or a planet or a dimension wear clothes. Like, for what does that mean about their biology? How does the environment affect their being or their body, the Earth's environment, right? And that was not the main response I got back from that video. I actually got back, like super obvious, super, like, of course they would wear clothes. And I'm like, well, it's a little more intricate than that. It's a little deeper than, of course they would wear clothes. We wear clothes to protect ourselves from our environment. It's not like, well, that's why we originally started wearing clothes. Now it's illegal not to wear clothes, but also, there's fashion and all this kind of stuff. But if you look into cases and you start paying attention to the clothes these occupants are wearing, or the gear, whatever you want to call it, you'll notice that even they seem to have like a fashion or like something that identifies them by either the color of the coveralls or the color of the suits that they're wearing. Some of them have emblems. Sorry, guys. Some of them have emblems on their clothing. And I even dug into trying to figure out what the emblems were and what the emblems meant. So yeah, there's so much about this phenomenon. And I feel like the film, The Phenomenon by James Fox, presents it to you in a way to sort of get you into understanding what's happening. And then hopefully it inspires people to look deeper and start looking at this phenomenon from different ways. Rendlesham. You guys are talking about Rendlesham. Rendlesham is in, am I saying that right? Project Unity, you probably know how to say that. Rendlesham. Well, the Rendlesham Forest incident, that's also really a powerful case, and also something that inspired one of my videos. Now, I made a whole video about talking about the different symbols on craft, right? The different symbols that experiencers see when they come into contact with one of these craft. And if you look into it at first, I read the Rendlesham case, and then I was thinking about that case, and I saw that aspect of it, and I started digging. And the more I dug, the more I found. And it even led me back to the Lani Zamora case. The Lani Zamora saw a symbol that has been, it seems like it's been interpreted in different ways over the years, but Lani Zamora saw a symbol on the craft And what do those symbols mean? You know, is that their language? Is that some sort of identifier for them? And if the ancient hypothesis, the ancient astronaut hypothesis, has any credibility to it? Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted tonight, guys. If that has any credibility to it, I think because I've been speaking Spanish all day, my tongue is now failing me. But yeah, if there's anything there, right? If these beings have been interacting with us since the precursor of our species, you know, and if they are actually what has influenced religion and influenced our species basically to help us get to where we are today in a way, right? Then was language influenced by these symbols? I mean, there's so many questions you can start to ask yourself. So that's what this film did for me, right? It took me back into all the research I've been doing, and it kind of made me feel like you're going in the right direction. Also, the ex director of Project Research, the ex director of Project Blue Book, Robert Friend, has some very awesome clips in this film. He actually left me thinking with one of his clips. I'm sure those of you that have seen the film will know what clip I'm talking about. Are we doing call-ins? I don't know how to do that yet, you guys. Like, literally, this is my second live ever, and I got the light in front of me is my cell phone light shining in my face. This microphone, I took it out of basically retirement. It was like in a dusty box somewhere. I have a emergency light set up back here, and then I tried to like set myself up in a way that would look kind of cool for you guys. So let me check out the live chat real quick. Zachary, Lancaster, as an avid psychedelic user, that kind of stuff doesn't really happen. Well, I think I missed that part. What are you guys talking about psychedelics? Well, there's a whole aspect of psychedelics that tie into this phenomenon and tie into, you know, just bending reality and going to that other realm. But that's the thing about this. It's so deep and it's so widespread. I think Chris Mellon said it too, is I also believe this, that we're dealing with more than one phenomenon. Like, understanding that these craft and these occupants are interacting with us is just the first step. Once we figure this out, we can start to truly see what reality is about and what the reality that we're living is. Michael Boyle, what's up, man? Oh, you guys are talking about Nick Redfern. Okay. Project Unity, Graham Hancock saw the grays on ayahuasca. Well, lots of people experiment with ayahuasca, right, to try to see that other side of reality. So it's pretty fascinating that he saw the grays on ayahuasca. And I know, like, lots of people that experiment with, MDMA or, I don't know, hallucinogens, right? They actually see, like, these worker elves and those kinds of things, and they see entities there in their trip, as somebody might call it. But I don't know, have any of you ever done ayahuasca or tried any of those sort of hallucinogens? I haven't been able to keep up with the chat. I've been talking too much. Talking about psychedelics because people think Rendlesham happened because it was a secret psychedelics test on soldiers. Okay, I see what you're saying, Michael. Well, I've actually had, discussions with people where they've tried to completely debunk Rendlesham, and I don't really see that happening. I could see it, a psychedelics test being run, being done, because you can't really ignore the fact that that kind of stuff may happen. Those kinds of weird government tests and secret projects and stuff like that, they do happen. And it has happened in the past where LSD's been, given to people to test them and stuff like that. So I could see how people might make that conclusion. But I also feel like a lot of people try to find the most logical explanation to a alien phenomenon that may not be logical, right? For the human mind, it may not have a logical explanation or something so simple. DMT. Yeah, that's what it is. DMT, not MDMA. DMT is the big one. Joe Rogan does DMT. Machine elves. Yeah, Fox Crow. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no way they were patrolling dosed on DMT. Yeah, I agree, Zachary. If any of you have ever done psychedelics or experimented with anything like that, you'll know that if they were dosed or, high on some potent psychedelics, I think those recordings that we have, those audio recordings of Rendlesham, I think would be much different. I don't think it would sound that way. I think there'd be a lot more pauses. There would be a lot more, gaps in what they're saying. They would sound a lot more lost. They just sounded like they were coming into contact with something that night, seeing some lights and seeing things that they couldn't explain. There's a book that came out, Rodrigo. There's a book that came out that is being overlooked by everyone. It's about the Rendlesham Witness Airman Burroughs having a document from the U.S. government talking about the weaponization of the phenomenon. Oh, that's interesting. And it's something also that I brought up in the past. We have to understand, too, that once the governments of the world understand how this technology works, it will most likely be turned into a weapon. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way the world works. It's all about wars and money. Zachary Lancaster, nothing like that has happened on my LSD and psilocybin mushroom trips, though even in huge doses. Oh, well, see, I'm a surfer from California. I'm not a surfer anymore, but I used to surf. There's no beach here in Buenos Aires. And, there's a whole culture over there with, psychedelics and cannabis and stuff like that. So as a young gaucho, as a young undead gaucho, I may have experimented a little bit with, with psychedelic mushrooms and stuff like that. And I never had that. I've had some really crazy experiences, but nothing really linked to the UFO phenomenon. But I have heard people tell me, about the machine elves that I know, and I've heard people tell me about taking ayahuasca and seeing entities and stuff like that. So you never know. A consciousness discussion, more like it. So yeah, so guys, I hope that I gave my 2 cents on James Fox's The Phenomenon. If you haven't seen that film, make sure to see it. Share it with everyone you know. Inspire people to start believing in this phenomenon, or at least trying to analyze it and trying to understand it. So yeah, that film is definitely a must-watch. And sorry, let me have some more Coke here. Zachary Lancaster, the Binary Code Journal. If it's true, it's massive. I agree. The Binary Code Journal is interesting. Somebody told me that the Binary Code Journal was like, I remember they said that that's when they lost faith in Rendlesham, was when they found out that the Binary Code Journal actually was just like a tourist map for the ETs, right? It was like different locations. But when I looked into it, I didn't feel that way, and I didn't think that that was the case. So, I don't know. Rendlesham is also one of my favorite cases. Michael Boyle, got to eat a quarter of boomers. Project Unity. Yeah, we got a little off topic from the film review here. Yeah, we did get a little off topic from the film review, but these lives are really for this. It's for us to sit here and just talk. You know what I mean? I don't get a chance to interact with you guys face to face, really. So I feel like this is the best way for us to become a strong community and to also understand kind of who we are. But the film is great. The phenomenon is great. Make sure to check it out. They did an amazing job. And I also wanted to talk about your favorite UFO films or your favorite films about the UFO subject. So share with me, guys, in the live chat what your favorite film regarding this subject is. And it doesn't have to be a documentary. It doesn't have to be, based on real events. It can be a fictional film. I just want to know what your favorite film is, because I do believe that it is very important for, this subject to be highlighted in all aspects, right? I think that if I ever had the chance, if I ever could do it, if I ever could make like a full budget film about this subject, maybe not like a documentary, right? But even something fictional, just to like inspire the youth on this subject. Most of my audience on my channel is 25 and up and male, right? So I've been trying to see like how can we reach a younger crowd? How can we, reach the minds of the younger people, right? We need to get them interested in this subject because it's a fascinating subject and it's one of the most important subjects ever, in my opinion. So I know that people have told me, like kids don't really care. They're too busy doing kid things. Or teenagers don't care. They're too busy being teenagers, right? But if they're going to question, reality and question if there is life out there, it's very important for them to know about this subject and to, try to look into it. What do you guys think? Third Eye Spies. That's a good one. I like that film. Mirage Men is awesome too. Unacknowledged deserves a mention, in my opinion. It does. It does deserve a mention, definitely. I watched all of Stephen Greer's films. Like, I try not to have a bias, when it comes to any researcher or anybody looking into this. And he has done a service to this field, right? Like him or not, he's helped spread the word and get the word out there. It's a different perspective or opinion than the current, I guess, say mainstream opinion with To the Stars and what's happening now, like that side or that lane that they're taking. But it's definitely something to think about and something to consider. Like, we're still learning about this phenomenon. Anything is possible. If you want to educate someone, show them the phenomenon and then Mirage Men. Yeah, I agree. But what I think we are missing, like, have you guys seen Project Blue Book, the TV show? Maybe it's better for kids not to think about it until they're ready. Yeah, I know. I understand that. Like, there's so many dark aspects and positive aspects of this, but, I feel like we need fresh minds and fresh thinkers that are ready to look at this aspect from a complete different angle than maybe we have been looking at it. Bambo Saucer is underrated and actually very compelling. I'm going to have to check that out. I haven't seen that film. But so back to what I was saying is I hope to take this channel and use it because I use this to also practice, cinematography, and I love my camera and I love filmmaking and taking photos. But I think that we need more media and more cinematic pieces dedicated to this subject, but that actually respect the reality of the subject, that actually take the data and the history that's available and create respectable films and respectable TV shows. So like that's why I brought up Project Blue Book, because I feel like they did an amazing job. like Project Unity saying right now in the live chat. And yeah, it's something that, because it's so well done and it's such a cinematic, like in my opinion, it was like a cinematic masterpiece, because I enjoy like analyzing things. Like my wife goes crazy when we watch something together, because I'll like pause something and be like, look at the lighting there. I wonder how they lit that. I wonder, oh, look at they're using these colors and stuff and on purpose and different things like that. So Project Blue Book is a cinematic masterpiece for a TV show on, I think it was on History Channel, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, if it was on History Channel or not. But Project Blue Book, if you haven't seen Project Blue Book, check it out. The actors are amazing, and that show's awesome. And a lot of people were hating on the show. A lot of people were hating on the show because they were saying that it is not 100% real, right? They were saying that it is, fiction, or it's, part of it's based on the real story and the other part is embellished. So I think that was actually a good part of the show, right? Was like this, the fantasy aspect of it. It's like J. Allen Hynek is awesome, but now that he's, portrayed in this show, and you get to see him, like, his story is ripped out of the pages of a comic book. So in order to really appreciate J. Allen Hynek and appreciate what the man did, and his change in opinion to the phenomenon and everything, you have to see it. You have to see the fantasy in it. You have to just let the story, it's a legend. He's a legend, and that is a portrayal of the legend. So yeah, I love that show. Project Blue Book series, really amazing. Let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat. I would love to do a discussion on the secret machine gods and man books. I mean, someone do a video with open discussion like this. Sorry to go off topic again. Just wanted to mention that. I actually haven't read the secret machine books. I want to, definitely, and I'm going to look into that and read them. I think TTSA, Foxcrow's saying, I think TTSA is trying to engage with the younger generation. Was the TTSA responsible for Blink-182's Dark Side? I don't know. I remember there's a song from Blink-182. I think it's called like Aliens in My Backyard or something like that. But it's about aliens. And I love that song. I remember hearing it as a kid and just thinking like, oh, this is awesome. And yeah, but I feel like in the 90s, in my generation, right, when I was younger, there was a lot more focus on this. There was a lot more focus on this topic. Kids were a little more interested in it than they are today. Rodrigo says, this last few years, lots of independent films came out with a solid message. From the top of my head, Cosmos and UFO. Yeah, I did see UFO featuring Gillian Anderson, and I liked that film. It was great. I'm going to check out Cosmos. I haven't seen that. But if you guys haven't seen the film UFO with Gillian Anderson, Scully, definitely check it out. It's a good film. One film that I'm going to suggest for you guys to make sure to watch is I think it's called The Vast of Night. And it is a awesome film. It's kind of like based in the 1950s kind of style America, right? 1950s America and North America. And it's really well done. It's a indie film, but there's no like cheesy aspect to it. It's filmed really well. The pace of the film is well done. Like the way it's laid out, it's great. And there's this one shot in the film, when you guys watch it, you'll notice it. They actually took a go-kart and strapped a camera to the go-kart and then ran the go-kart through the whole town. And they do like a tracking shot, right? So they're going like from one character to another character. And it's basically the footage of the go-kart going through the town ramped up. It must have like a stabilizer or something so it's not shaking like crazy, but it's a beautiful shot. And that film is awesome. Check that film out. The Vast of Night. Alchemy, what's up, man? Hey, My dad's here. Hey, Dad. um, Sorry, guys. I'm getting a rough throat. I got a rough throat tonight. Zachary Lancaster says, War isn't out yet. Gods and man are both must read for all of us greatly into the phenomenon. Okay? I'm gonna check out those books, man. Rodrigo Vieira, I have The Vast of the Night on hold. Really gotta watch it. Definitely watch it, trust me. Zachary Lancaster, speaking of sightings, since I learned Simple C5 techniques from Jay, Project Unity, I've had about 10. Some with up to 14 other people with me witnessing it. Anyone skeptical needs to try it. I agree. Anyone skeptical needs to try it. You always need to try something before, disregarding it. Project Unity says, Children of Men has one of the best cinematic shots I've ever seen. Not UFO related. Just saying. I'm going to check it out. Children of Men. I haven't seen it. At least I don't think I've seen it. Over 9 minutes, continuous shot through an entire revolution in a city. Awesome. I'm going to check it out. Definitely. But what I think we're missing too is like a big budget Hollywood film dedicated to this, this subject, but like dedicated to ufology or UFO research, and something that really engages people, right? That's actually based on or inspired by actual events, kind of like Project Blue Book, but on a bigger level, right? On a bigger scale. I think that would be amazing. Like, imagine like an Avengers kind of movie. I'm saying the quality, the way it's done, but about a UFO researcher, right? And his journey or his story. I think that would be awesome, and I think it would inspire the younger generation to look into the topic and inspire them to want to look into UFOs and want to look into the phenomenon. I think Jack Valet is also a person that when you read his story and you look at all he's done, he's like ripped out of the pages of a comic book, right? Like, his whole experience, this whole interaction that he met, J. Allen Hynek, he got to see the Project Blue Book files. Like, definitely somebody that deserves to have a full feature film just based on his story. So let me look back in the chat here, because it's hard to talk and look at the chat at the same time. I was also using my light. I told you guys I'm using my phone as a light, and for some reason, somebody called me on my phone just a second ago. So my light was ringing. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Project Unity, Jack Valet is simply amazing. Yes, and I'm saying those are the kind of stories the youth need to see. Those are the kind of stories everyone needs to see. But not, maybe it could be a character inspired by Jack Valet, right? But a full feature film with, amazing cinematic aspects to it, great, cameras, just something engaging that's going to trap the attention of the viewers and inspire a younger generation to look into this phenomenon. As an old fart, I started to appreciate the old guard more and more, right? I started to think like how amazing these guys were, because they dedicated so much of their life to look into this. They put it all on the line, right? They put their careers, their relationships, their just their whole essence on the line, because it's tricky. It's tricky to look into this subject. Most of you probably know. You can't just talk about this to anybody. You can't walk around really openly talking about this. You have to, like today, it's a little more accepted, but still. Fox Crow, get Tom Cruise to play Jack Valet. Project Unity, Tom Cruise. Come on, we can do better than that. Tom Cruise, he's a good actor. I don't know if he'd be a good Jack Valet. I think Jack Valet would need to be somebody like an actor, like a little more intellectual of an actor, right? But good thinking, Fox. I'm sure Tom Cruise would love to be in a movie about a UFO researcher. There's a pilot for a series about abductions by Whitley Strieber. Can't remember the name. You can find it online. It's very good. I'll try to find it. Definitely. Oh, Communion. You guys, tell me that you haven't rewatched Communion like 10 times. I try to like find inspiration from Communion so many times for my videos, even though I don't have much space like to create a set, right? But the whole setup in Communion, like there's a scene at the end of Communion where he's sitting trying to write finish writing his story or whatever, and he's like, they have like a pan in shot, and he's like staring at, I think he stares at the camera. I can't remember now, but I love that film, and I think it's interesting and fascinating, and I can't remember the actor's name right now. You guys know the actor's name from Communion, right? So one of you has to know his name. I heard Whitley Strieber on Fade to Black the other night, and he said he wasn't a Christopher Walken fan. There we go. Christopher Walken, that's who's the actor in Communion. I gotta say, Christopher Walken's always kind of creeped me out. Since I think he was in a Batman movie. It creeped me out, but I think he's an amazing actor. I think he does a great job. No. Yeah, I'll be honest, Michael. I don't think Christopher Walken represented Whitley Strieber accurately, no. But I think that character, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the character that Christopher Walken plays, because, he's Christopher Walken, for me at least, it's engaging to see him, right? He's you're hearing the whole story, you're getting the whole, the experience and everything, but Christopher Walken's like telling you the story. You're living through you're seeing a close encounter with Christopher Walken in it. It's kind of crazy. And it's always trapped me. That's why I've watched the film so many times. I feel like he does a great job, and he always acts a little, all over the place, but he's a great actor, so I love that film. Have you guys seen Fire in the Sky? I brought it up in a few of my videos before, and I think it's like it was probably a low budget film when it came out. But I like that film. I think they did a good job on Fire in the Sky. And that's also a case that if you haven't looked into that case, you definitely need to, because that's a interesting case there. So how's the stream, guys? How's everything? Is it still working good? How long have we been streaming here? Oh, did you guys see that news article about Tom DeLonge working on a show, a production? I think it's called Monsters of California or something like that. And that might be good. That might be interesting, right? Fire in the Sky freaks you out. Yeah. Fire in the Sky is a freaky film, definitely. Just under an hour. Well, let's keep going. This is awesome. Are you guys having a good time? Fire in the Sky was one of the first UFO movies I remember seeing as a kid, and it gave me nightmares. Well, that experience would give anyone nightmares. Alpha asked me, do you believe Bob Lazar? I think it's called Monsters in LA, right? Something like that. Project Unity. Sorry. Let me answer Alpha's question. Do you believe Bob Lazar? I do believe Bob Lazar. I could probably go into a whole explanation for half an hour on why I believe Bob Lazar, but I will save that for another live, just because I feel like we're going to get super off topic. But Alpha, that's a good question. And I just feel like if you look at it and you analyze what he said and you try to realize where we are today, a lot of what he was saying has been adding up, and his story hasn't changed. So I got to side with Bob Lazar, guys. Zachary Lancaster, yeah, something about Monsters of California, right? Yeah. Yeah, so Tom DeLonge's going to create this series or something, and it's probably going to be good. Let's be honest. He's probably got a good budget. Let's hope that he, does a good job with that. I'm sure he will. Zachary Lancaster, E.T. gave me nightmares. I'll admit it, Lo. When he turns gray, it terrified me. I had nightmares of running into him in my house for years as a kid. There were aspects of E.T. when I was a kid that were kind of scary. I'm not going to lie to you. Of that film, the first time I saw it, I don't remember how little I was, but I was little. And yeah, I could see how that could be scary. So, I don't know. If this channel ever gets big enough, hopefully I can continue to make or try to take this content and make it more cinematic, right? Keep getting better with my camera, keep getting better at filmmaking, maybe upgrade some stuff. And hopefully one day in the future, maybe I'll be able to make a film for the, dedicated to this subject. Something that really inspires people to look into it. Something that makes people admire the people that look into this. It's like, think about Indiana Jones, right? Like, I feel like J. Allen Hynek is my Indiana Jones. Even though I love Indiana Jones, but J. Allen Hynek is like my Indiana Jones, right? That's what I mean. We need to make sure that on top of doing research and trying to find the truth and spreading the truth, we need to try and get this subject and topic represented in a way that it's taken seriously, but also let people see how fascinating, how amazing, how magical, and how mystical this topic really is, Project Unity, I think he's got to go. It's a good talk, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for telling me that I'm doing great, man. I mean, again, guys, you guys are so awesome. Thank you guys for being here and for joining me and talking to me tonight. I know it's Friday night. I'm glad we could hang out and we could do this. And I want to do this more often. And I promise, as time goes on, we can, figure out how to make this work a little better. Maybe I can figure out how to do call-ins, right? I want to have some guests on here, definitely. Michael Boyle said, I'll think about Indiana Jones, but I'm definitely not thinking about that last movie. With the last Indiana Jones movie, I think the one right with Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, I mean, you have your good Indiana Jones and you have your bad Indiana Jones. What can I say? I'm lurking around. Project Unity just said, I'm lurking around. I'm screenshotting Lou's Twitter posts at the same time. Oh, is he posting right now? Like, I'm just hanging out with you guys here. I wish I could be jumping around too, but I probably could. I just don't think I'm confident enough yet. Lou's take on James Fox's The Phenomenon, I thought that was super interesting. I think it's interesting too to see Lou interacting with UFO Twitter, and interacting with people on Twitter. Because I never thought that would happen, right? I never thought I'd see him truly opening up on Twitter and like opening up to the community. Because I've tried to, I wish Tom DeLonge would do that and maybe other people in TTSA, but I feel like Lou is such a powerful member in that group that just having him contact us and talk to us and, answer our questions and stuff like that is so amazing and so important, right? You got to always remember, like, we're all in this together. We're all looking for the truth together. there may be someone out there that, is not a Lua Elizondo or a Jack Valet or a Hynek that might actually know something more that we don't, right? There might be someone out there that isn't even a UFO researcher that knows something more, something super important that we don't. I think that's what's so crazy about this, is that there could be so many people around the world that have had close encounters that they don't even realize it was a close encounter, right? Or have had interactions with these occupants, or have gotten close up to a craft and never talked about it. Project Unity said, I sent Christopher Mellon a DM and waiting. Let's see if he gets back to you, man. That would be awesome. I feel like he's really cool, and he's got a good approach. He's got a good view on this. Jay's the ambassador. That's awesome, Zachary. That's cool. Michael Boyle, I think it's hilarious that he stonewalled John Greenwald for years. Then he hops on Twitter and answers everyone's questions. Are you talking about Lou Elizondo? I'm out of Coke, guys. So, I mean, guys, also, you gotta, like, we've talked about this, right? You gotta be careful who you talk to, who you interact with. And some people might not get along with other people and may not even want to interact with those people, right? So Lou is going to do what Lou's going to do. But at the same time, who knows, the background behind stuff. That's another thing. You never really know what's going on. You never know the whole story, right? Unless you can, unless you're walking in their shoes, you never know the whole story. But, yeah, I think it's awesome, though, that he's interacting with the community. And I feel like everyone, anyone in the spotlight, in any medium, or any, any, I guess, how would you say this, like, famous person or anybody in the spotlight, that's a good way to say it, I guess, should interact with their communities, right? They should actually respond to messages. Because lots of those people wouldn't be in the spotlight if it wasn't for the community. So I think a lot of the inspiration that pushes Lou forward and TTSA and all those guys forward is the community, and, all of us rooting them on and trying to figure out, a little more. Michael Boyle, yeah, Lou stonewalled Greenwald. That rhymes. Lou stonewalled Greenwald. Well, yeah, but like I said, guys, you never know. Maybe they just don't get along. Who knows? I do think too that there's certain people that their dynamics don't interact well, and I could see, I'm super peaceful and super calm, and I try to respect everybody and be open, right? But I know that there's probably somebody that doesn't like me out there. I can see the thumbs downs on my videos, and I see the comments and stuff, And if they had the chance to rip me apart, they probably would. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's what's going on with Lou and Greenwald. I don't want to, start any drama or anything. Well, what do you guys think about this idea that, the president of North America, we're not going to talk politics. We'll never do that here because that's not what I'm into. But what do you guys think about the president of North America saying that he's going to look into the subject? I feel like that's such a weird, like, his response. What was his response was something like, I'm going to take a serious look at it. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in here real quick and, see what you guys think, but I don't want to talk too much about that. But Project Unity says thumbs down is just jealousy, bro. Yeah, but I could totally see too. Like the other day, I posted the last video and I used the screen. The thumbnail was like my face, right, with some words on it, with the title of the video or something. And I posted it on Reddit, and somebody said to me, "We don't need any more UFO stars. The moment I saw your face was the moment I decided not to take you seriously." And I was just like, wow, okay. You know, I get it. People don't want to get, in something about, we talked about it in the last live that we did. People in this subject, this community, right? We've been bamboozled. We've been hustled in the past, and nobody wants to see, somebody just a fake star or somebody just benefiting off a topic. I hope that I never portray that to anyone. I hope that me doing these kinds of things and making these kinds of videos. My dad has just put a water icon. He's like, get some water. I have no more water, Dad. I can't get up. But I hope that nobody ever sees me in that light, because I try my best, right? I there's moments where I'm like, I can't believe that, like, I'm still trying so hard, right? Because it feels there's times where you just want to stop, because you'll make a video, you'll put all your energy into it, you'll try to do your research, you'll try to get everything put together, you post it, and it's like, whatever, like, obviously I appreciate everyone who always is there and always inspires me to keep going, but I know that there's fashion channels and different topics that they make videos about, cameras that I watch a bunch of videos about photography and stuff, and those channels just blow up because of the topic. So I feel like our community needs to be strong. We need to stick together, work together, help each other out, and do the best we can. Let me check out the chat. Christopher Sharp, what's up, man? Lieutenant Tim McMillan said Trump doesn't about UFOs, unfortunately. He has been briefed too. I don't understand why he doesn't care if he hasn't been privy to some amazing intel like Rubio and Warner. I don't know. That's what I was saying. That's why I brought it up, because I felt like the responses he's given a few times were not that compelling, but we'll see. President of North America sounds like he's in charge of Canada and America. No, I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean that. I'm just in South America, and every time I try to bring up, anytime I say America, people correct me here. They're like, no, you mean North America, because this is South America. So yeah. Thank you, Rob. I'm quite likable. Thank you, man. That's nice of you to say that. I hope I am quite likable, guys. I try my best. I try to be as open and honest with you guys as I can. Can you guys hear that? Like, do I need water? I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I can grab some water. Let me try. Let's see what happens. Give me 1 second. I'm back. I got some water. Oh, the water's warm. Okay. So, let's get back into it. Project Unity. So, yeah, I needed water. Sorry. What happens if we see a ghost? What, is there a ghost in here? Did somebody see a ghost? Pro Illusionist, hello, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. The most important thing, Rodrigo said, the most important thing I took from the Trump interview was him saying he had received info on it just a couple days before. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the info was, but I don't know. Who's with me? Wait, you guys are kidding me, right? Where's the ghost? There is a dog here, guys. Maybe it's the dog. Maybe the dog is moving around and you're seeing the shadows of the dog. There's a dog like right over here. I think it got out of focus. One sec. Right as you guys said that, the camera went out of focus. That's a little weird. I think the camera should be back in focus. There we go. Hey, Mary. How are you? Foxcrow just messing. If there was a ghost, that'd be kind of crazy. That'd be interesting. Talk about great content there, right? Imagine on a live stream, ghost just appears. That'd be pretty crazy. So, a ghost in the shelf. So it's awesome, man. It's so great to see you guys all here again. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for being here. Super cool. I feel like this is going to be something really, really awesome that we do here on the channel, and we're going to continue to do it. I'll try to pick a better day, maybe not Fridays. Like I said, maybe Wednesday nights might be good. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Friday? There's one thing that I think a lot of people that do lives do that I'm not doing is they probably write notes and project them on their, whatever screen they're viewing the live chat in, but I am not doing that. I'm kind of just winging it. I had some, little piece of paper here that I wrote some bullet points on, but nothing too crazy. We will tag the time mark when we see a ghost. So, we've talked about UFO movies. We talked about the phenomenon. We've talked about a lot today. I don't know what time mark we're on. We're at 1 hour and 3 minutes. That's pretty crazy. Christopher Sharp said, during lockdown, any day works. You know what? I'd have to agree. I hope you all are doing okay, with this pandemic and what's going on. Argentina we are experiencing the pandemic still, like the whole rest of the world, right? But it's kind of crazy because they're lifting some of the restrictions, but at the same time, when you turn on the news, and you see, people dying every day. You see the cases, record-breaking cases and all this kind of stuff. So, I don't know. We're living kind of like an upside-down world right now over here. It's like, I think they're just trying to save the economy. So I hope you guys are all doing well and you're staying safe when it comes to that. Alchemy said, here it's 2 o'clock in the morning for me, but I'll be here next time if it's possible for me. Alchemy, thank you, man, for being here at 2 o'clock in the morning. That definitely means a lot. So my plan for the rest of the weekend is probably... Somebody else, Bro Illusionist, said, oh, wow, 1 hour and 3 minutes. I'm super late. Forgot to ring the bell. My plan for the rest of the weekend is going to be do some more research, figure out a new video to film, right, a normal video, and try to get that uploaded before the end of the weekend. That's normally my plan, right? That's normally how I work because I work a 9 to 5 every day, even though now I'm working from home. But most of my time is taken up by either normal life, everyday life, or my job. So yeah, so I hope I can get some good content out this weekend. Thank you, Alchemy, for being here, man. Thank you for the nice chat as well. Thank you all, you guys, Zachary, Rodrigo, Project Unity, Engaging the Phenomenon, Michael. You guys are awesome, man. Film that ghost behind you. Rodrigo, 1 a.m. there, man. You see, that's awesome, guys. That's awesome that you guys would take time to hang out with me, even though it's 1 a.m. where you are, or 2 a.m. That's great. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna end it here. We've been on here for an hour, enjoyed ourselves, had a good little chat. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Hopefully, like I said, we're gonna get better and better at these as we go on, get more people in here, and no, thank you guys. All you guys saying thank you guys, man. Again, thank you guys for the 1 a.m., 2 a.m.s. Much respect to all of you, and yeah, and much respect and love, guys. Because honestly, this would never happen. I would never do this kind of stuff if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for this community. So, thank you to all of you all over the world. Keep searching for the truth. Never stop. And like I say, always the paranormal is normal. And sometimes I'm gonna say this one because I feel like if I don't start using this more often, people might start using it. The truth is much stranger than fiction. So we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you guys for joining.